We're going to have a little fun now with you guys. We're going to do a competitive who's who for the MLG Columbus Open. I'm sure all of you who went through high school did a who's who. Anyway.
I won Best Romance. Not sure if I'm proud of that.
I was most athletic, so.
Most athletic? That's impressive. Britt?
Anyway, so we're going to do a who's who and get your guys' opinions on this. So first we're going to start with most improved team.
Most improved team. I know it's only one place higher, like you said earlier, but at first thought, I got to give it to United. I think their showing at the Invitational was poor. I mean, piss poor. They were really disappointed with themselves. Made a little bit of a roster change, nothing too crazy, and they came back and they placed better. And I think they banged out. With Bot, it was a really close game on that side station. So I got to go United.
I'm gonna go with Envious. They proved that they can beat Optic, and just in terms of their boot camp and their preparation and what they can do. Although they didn't really go up in terms of ranking, placing second at Invitational, just the fact that they proved that they can beat Optic for me was most improved.
All right, Blaze, lay it down. What you got?
Viva la Mexico! Splice. Splice. I will say that they are most improved, even though I want to say they got technically one placing less than they did beforehand. But every match that they played that they lost were 1 or 2, pretty much. Okay.
Same thing at the Invitational though.
Yeah, a few, but even like they had their bracket was harsh.
Yeah,
they had a harsh group play. They had some bomb matches coming out of it, and I just felt like that they were. I don't know. I just felt like they were even better a little bit than they were beforehand. It's just that they had some tough matchups this event.
They made a roster change. You guys heard about that?
Yes. Yeah, I did.
Oh yeah.
That.
They dropped Revolving. So
and picked up.
Right now they have an interim replacement. It's why am I blanking on his name? It's
for London. Yeah, they picked up someone for London.
London. I forgot his name. He's been playing GBs, Gears 3 GBs for a long time with them.
Oh,
Hispanic, yeah, Mexican. Yep. But I'll agree with you in that sense. Though. I think inch by inch they're getting better and better each event. Slowly but surely. I think we'll see the roster changes what they need to make that drastic improvement. But they are getting better and better each event.
It's adverse.
Adverse. Yeah, that's what it was. Adverse.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll see how that fares. They made sure to clarify that he's interim. So that was interesting.
So they want to leave a spot open.
Maybe they're just giving him like a probation period tryout.
Yeah. Maybe. Interesting stuff.
So good choice or bad choice for them?
We're gonna find out. I don't think anybody's.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna start with Rob on this one. Most likely to have a completely different roster for the next event. So maybe 3 team changes at most.
Wow. I would have said Orbit. I'm not sure if that's even going to be a squad anymore, so that might just be a wash. So I'll go with NRG, just based on how where they placed and how disappointed that loss was. I think there might be some drastic changes coming, from that squad.
I can agree 100% with you on the NRG, but I'm gonna say Vex because
damn it,
the way that they performed. You could say the same answer, but I think those were the 2 main teams. Vex, the way they performed was piss poor. So definitely needs roster change.
I really think it's going to be Optic Gaming. I think their roster is. No, I'm just kidding. I agree with Vex. That was actually my choice as well. Strangulate is so kind of all over the place at times, and the thing that hurts this question is London's a week away, so it's kind of hard to change your roster because you have roster locks and things like that. But yeah, Vex.
So, okay, here's a question for you guys. I think it's important for teams to kind of stay together and work together to build that chemistry and build that strategy. But how do teams know when, okay, we don't need to stick together anymore? It's best for us to do a team change. And John mentioned last time Europe was doing team changes all the time. It wasn't very good for them and good and healthy for the teams. What's the difference between, okay, we're going to succeed if we substitute, or we're going to succeed if we stick with the team that we have?
I feel like Rob would answer that well.
Sure. So there's a couple things. One thing is if you feel like you're putting the time into this would be like a more personal thing. If you're putting in the time and you feel like you deserve more from your team than they're giving you, that might be a decision why you might leave a team. Like, you want more out of it than your whole team wants to make. You know what I mean? And then that could go the same thing with a team of 5, and they recognize one player's like, oh, he's showing up late for practice. Like we're all like putting in this time, and he's just not giving it what we expect, what we're all putting into it. We deserve everybody on this team to do the same thing.
And you
So
give them verbal warnings.
yeah, and like that's a big one for me. It's just like, that just goes a long way because everybody's making sacrifices, and if you're not, if you're not doing what you have to do to be there on time and put in the time, and then that goes. And the other thing
effort,
is,
yeah.
yeah, just pure effort and dedication and showing the willingness to to persevere through. And the other thing is really just personality clashes sometimes, and there's not much you can do about it. If people continue to argue and it's very unproductive, the practice becomes unproductive, and you're wasting a lot of time arguing and things like that. At some point, some personalities just don't get along, so there has to be a team change there. But overall, you do want to stick it out and do what you can to avoid team changes, because getting chemistry and getting your shit down and knowing your roles and positions and starting to anticipate each other's moves, that just gets better and better each tournament. But there are reasons to break away sometimes.
And I agree with you too on that, Rob. The vibe is everything when it comes down to making those teams, and you try to get the vibe right early on. But when things are going, and Rob said it all, nail on the head, is just that when it's practice time, when it's time to go over stuff, even when it's team bonding time, and you see that one person who just for no reason is not there, is not like bonding with the team. You get done scrimming, he the first one to lead a party, the last one to reply to the group text when he get annoying. Yeah, he misses practice time because he got other things to do. Like, you just can't fuck up the flow and can't fuck up the flux, the vibe of your squad. And those players, they gotta go because they prevent growth. They just a nasty weed. Trying to stun our beautiful petals from blooming in the sunlight.
Right.
Anything to add, John?
No, you guys, I think they both
Got
hit
it.
the nail on the head. Spot on. Seriously. It's a tough situation because all 5 people, not 5, not even 4 anymore, it's 5, need to be on the same page. It's tough because sometimes like 1 or 2 people like see the potential in the team, but one person doesn't. I know that was a situation I went through. We got second then third place with Get Bronco, and Affinity just like was determined we need to make a roster change. And I thought we fit together really well as a team, and he didn't. So everyone needs to be on the same page. Everyone needs to kind of be bought into the vision, and that's where it takes good leadership to make sure that really all leadership is sharing a vision and making sure everyone is aligned with that vision. And some teams really lack that.
All right, Blaze, we got MVP of the entire event, a player that stands out the most in your mind.
The MVP of the entire event goes down to Dispenser.
Oh.
Tommy Dispenser. And the reason why I say that, I could have said, somebody from Optics, somebody from Envy. I could have said, somebody from Bot. Before I could say notable mentions. Speed did good, Abolix did good. Lava did good as always. Solars and Toy was going off, but the unsung hero was Tommy Dispenser, because I feel like coming off Guy UE, Tommy was into this I'm a support player type of role, but now you start to see him fill all these roles in his team and step up and be a main slayer, be universal, and he always has his emotions in check. And, he's very, very versatile for the squad. He was slaying all weekend, I noticed his game personally stepped up to the next level that it needed to step up in order for his team to succeed. And I just feel like he was a solid rock for those guys.
John?
This is a good choice. I'm going to go with Excels. I think Excels did his thing, very consistent all weekend long. And what he did, Blaze, you said this on stream. I got to give my hat off to you for that. He's leading his team. He's a shot caller for his team. He played anchor for his team on some maps, and he was still slaying the way he was slaying. And that's crazy.
And all the call outs. He's like a puppet master.
All the call outs. Yeah, seriously. And the communication. So, without a doubt, overall MVP, him. It's tough to pick anyone from Optic for me because I feel like Explosive wasn't too impressive in the finals, and they all went off at different times. So it's always tough to pick someone from Optic because all 5 of them could be an MVP. So.
So I didn't get to like watch all the games quite yet, just based on the fact that I was grinding the whole weekend. But I'm also going with someone from United, just based on how resilient that team is, and just that from what I was hearing from around me. So I have Icy. I know he was making some ridiculous plays to keep them alive. Like the reason that United is so successful is just how resilient that team is, and they just don't give up, man. They had their backs
They
against the
don't.
wall so many times. They had to
They were down
make
six something a lot.
yeah, and they had that loser bracket run, and they just kept saying, "No, we're not done yet." So Icy made some huge plays to help them survive as long as they did.
Next up, we got most disappointing performance, either a whole as a team or a player.
I think we all might have the same one here.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a lot of easy ones. Were you gonna say Vex, please?
No.
No.
No, not even Vex. Yeah, I'm gonna go with for a team, I'm gonna go with Vex. I think they came in with a lot of expectations. Who's gonna come out on top, Vex or Bot? So as a team, I'm gonna say Vex. What are your guys' thoughts?
I have E6.
NRG. Oh, okay.
E6.
We all,
Damn.
they were all
E6,
good
I
choices.
forgot about E6.
They were all good choices, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know mine was NRG. Be honest with you, I just didn't expect E6 to do as well as they did beforehand. I just still haven't seen nothing from them. Even seeing them on the fight nights
Nothing.
even catching a stream here and there. I still never saw nothing that showed me that they were a different E6 team. And then they always constantly in drama before events.
Yeah.
Like I just don't ever see those guys come in. They look all like the week before the event they look all professional and they go at it, but once the event gets here, I feel like they just get lost in bullshit. To the fact is that they don't perform as well as they can when the event gets here. And then my pick NRG was, you had Flames, you had Supremos. I swear, I thought Frank had a heart attack in open bracket trying to keep them alive. It was like 4 different occasions where they almost got knocked out, early on. And I don't know if it was just team chemistry, motivation, but the team on paper, you expected those guys to at least be, make their way to the pool play, go undefeated, get into the champ bracket somehow, some way, but they let us all down.
Yeah, Energy lost to Extortion day 1, and then ended up losing to Geeks. So they kind of just fell flat their last 2 games, and they squeaked by Avalanche. They were down. Yeah, they were down on Impact 6-5. Came back to win the next 2, and Avalanche ended up outplacing them in the tournament.
So. It's not like a bad match. That's literally a team that just
they squeaked past Loyalty as well too. I want to say
crazy, man. Crazy. Rob, yours is E6 though. Why?
Yeah. So just I do agree with you guys in terms of like we haven't really seen it yet, and I feel like that team is very very skilled team. But they came in with the A seed. They placed outside of that. They placed 9 through 12, and
did they place 9 through 12?
Yes.
Yeah.
They made a little bit of a run. Right.
Yeah. So it's a very emotional team. Has a lot of skills, but moving forward, we're going to see something change from those guys.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that for a little bit? That E6 squad, because there's a lot of drama around that team right now.
Oh yeah.
Would you guys, if I would have at Sunday night before any of this, if I would have come up to you guys and said Noxious was the one that underperformed and needs to get dropped, would you guys have agreed? Like that came out of completely left field for me. Complete left field.
I would say that yeah, but I don't know what type of stuff that Noxious was doing beforehand. Noxious just needs to make sure he read his contract and understand that this is a bit. It ain't like ballroom gameplay no more, and that you can get fucked pretty hard if just you piss off the wrong people, you do stuff out your contract, and that's what we saw there. You got to go things about a certain way. I think it's players in that team.
For those watching that don't know what happened, Blaze, you mind explaining what's that situation's like?
Oh yeah. Noxious, he was discussing of joining another team. He was meeting up with orgs and other players about joining their squad, and in his contract, I'm gonna say it's like a no compete clause where he can't do that. It has to be all about E6. So they chose to bench him, and his buyout clause was $10,000, and they had the option to let him not play any Gears eSports for the entire season until he paid them $10,000. but they released him. After enough time and him squealing and squirming, they released him. I think they got their pleasure out of it. And but yeah, he could have not played any Gears esports at all this entire season.
Yeah, they were planning
But-
on bench. I saw his tweet. He was being benched.
E6 water boy. That's what he was about to be.
Yeah.
The Bobby Boucher of the squad.
What you were gonna say though, Blaze, about the roster drop?
But no, it's about good 2 players on that team who I feel like if they were on other teams, they can possibly win an event. Like they can possibly shine. Like I'm talking about shine and come to fruition and become top players. But I feel like the drama that's always around that roster is holding those players back. Yeah, and I say Hudson's. I feel like Hudson's is all about his business. And I feel like sometimes when the drama hits that roster, you'll never see Hudson's around. That boy be in his bed, ready to play, ready to sleep. All about his business, and it kind of holds him back a little bit. And then also I would say. I want to say Crush. It's like a mixture. Noxious is one of them, but Crush is always in drama as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like even if I don't know if the drama is because
walls, hands.
Yeah, I don't know if the drama is because he's on E6 or the drama is always gonna come to him. But Crush has the skill to be on any of these top 4 teams and just drop numbers. But it's a debate between those two. But definitely Hudson's, man. If he was on another team, I feel like we'll see a better Hudson's.
I agree with that wholeheartedly, man. I met Hudson's for the first time at MES in Michigan Blaze when we casted that event. I was so impressed. He was playing with Mercenaries for Hire with Fail Strike's team. I was so impressed, man. Like his professionalism, he's all about his business. You're spot on, man. Like very, very professional, very like mature, committed. Didn't drink all weekend at that event because he wanted to win, and that was a tiny event in comparison.
Yeah.
Who is so focused like that? There's not many players that are, honestly.
He's a pretty young guy too, right?
He's 22.
Yeah.
He's 22. Yep, younger. So, I completely agree with you. Meanwhile, he's on a team with people that are punching walls, breaking their hands, drinking on Thursday, Friday nights before events. It's and honestly, I've seen him kind of change a little bit as he molded with the culture of that team. I've seen him kind of become more negative, and I've said about E6 the whole time. I think that team, it's a deeply rooted cultural issue. They are so negative about everything. I mean, Crushmo even said it to me. Even when they're winning, even when they're on top of the world, destroying, they're angry. It's not that they're hyped and excited for one another, happy for one another. They are angry when they're winning.
Yeah.
So what does that say about this team and the negative aura that they give off? I think it's just a cultural issue. They need to.
I fully agree.
You have to be a certain type of like player to be a part of that team in terms of the atmosphere you want to surround yourself in. Like that comes back to just like playing with a team that you want to get the same thing out of. Like you want to if you're someone that just wanted to go and focus with your team and go over things all the time, not to say like we're not with them so we don't know that they're not doing that as well, but just from what we hear, it seems like there was like a lot of drama and attention from this tournament prior to the start of the event that may have caused their poor their underperforming finish. So hopefully that stuff gets ironed out and we'll see what happens. I know I believe Noxious was officially released.
Yep. He was.
And I saw him scrimming with Enix a few times. So I don't know, but I know he's been, I'm sure he's going to grind, and I know the game means a lot to him. So he'll figure it out.
He's a good player. So when I was hearing, on Sunday night, people kind of going off about how Noxious played horrible and how he's such a terrible, I was really surprised. He's not the person I would have said like, damn, it's his fault, So obviously they know their issues more than we know their issues, so we can't assume, or all we can do is speculate. But I was really shocked by that.
We're gonna jump back into the categories right quick. So most likely to succeed. So a team, if they were to remain together, who do you see kind of rising to the top, Rob?
I'll go with the United because they're just going to have more time under their belt with this new roster with Clouts. As I mentioned, they proved to be resilient and refuse to lose. And the more they stick together, they're just going to continue to be a force. So,
what you got, Blaze?
Most likely to succeed. If they stick together, Bot Empire, 100%. 100%. Yeah, no, they have it all. They just they had 2 weeks of practice. They just need to keep working on it.
You think they could be a top 1 team?
Oh, fuck yeah.
There you have it. Heard from him himself. I'm going to go with something completely different. I'm going to say Vitality. I'm going to throw it over to Europe. I want to look at an open bracket team, a team that plays kind of semi-pro, 9th through 16th. And Vitality is the one team that sticks out, I think, of the rest of those teams. I think they have chemistry. They have a good mix. They have some slaying power. I know Baghdad can get down. I think if Vitality sticks it through and keeps kind of grinding and practicing, I think you'll see a top 8 finish from them in London.
Do you think the U.S. teams kind of underestimate them at all?
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Yeah, gosh, without a doubt.
A lot of them learned a lesson this weekend.
All right, Blaze, who was the best match at MLG Columbus? Who had the best match?
Bot Empire versus Optic. That was one of the best matches that I've seen. And to think that if it was another match offside that I did not see, it might have been, but the one actually I would have to say, I think it was NRG and Loyalty actually was a nail biter. That was actually Bot Empire and Optic had the best map, maybe, which was that Foundation one, but it was NRG versus Loyalty or Avalanche, I want to say, but it was a tiebreaker 7-6
Impact?
one. No, I don't think it was right before. It was like probably like a winners round 4 map or something. They barely won it. NRG won, but they barely won it, and I think that was against Loyalty.
NRG played Avalanche and.
Did they play Loyalty?
Yeah. No, they didn't play Loyalty.
Then it was Avalanche.
So I think it was the Avalanche match you were talking about.
Yeah, it was Avalanche. Yeah, that was a nail biter. So.
John, what do you think was the best match?
Yeah, it's crazy because there's so many open bracket matches that were insane, or side station matches. The night on Saturday night when we were in the venue till like 2:30 in the morning. I mean, so many close matches that were missed. But I have to say the grand finals, not to give the cop-out answer, but I just feel like the grand finals was such a good story. So many storylines within that. Of course, the teams hating each other, E Clasico, everything, all of the aboard. It was such a great grand finals. The comeback from Optic, I mean, gosh, it was awesome.
We think
we
Rob?
can answer a better final, but I have the Bot Optic match from what I was able to rewatch. The Bot Optic match was thrilling like the whole time, so it was sick.
John, who do you think was the most underestimated team going in?
Ooh, a lot of them. There were, let's see, you had a couple teams that just no one even had on the map, right? Well, I'll keep it pro scene because we have greatest Cinderella story coming up, I know, too. So I'll save the Cinderella story for later. Yeah, most underestimated without a doubt was Bot. I don't think not many people, maybe a few people, came in and saw them placing top 3. Week and a half of practice. They were doing some good things online, but speedy and frag out, kind of online kids is what everyone said. I think Bot came in completely underestimated and really turned some heads.
Rob?
Bot's a really good pick there. I'll go with Enix placing top 6.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, man, those guys really showed up to play on LAN. It was really impressive, and it was really
who was their roster?
It's Nasty, Jake, and
Strafey, Rushy, Birdie, and Rosado.
Birdie and Rosado, yeah.
Who are they replacing for Noxious, by the way?
I'm not positive. I want to say Birdie was not in the scrims. I played them a couple nights now, and Birdie was not there. But I don't know if that's I just know that he was playing with them.
Blaze, who's your most underestimated team?
Most underestimated team. I would have to say Enix too, because I thought those made a squad just for the roster, just for points. It was a last minute team. They came out, got top 6. They wasn't on my radar at all. So,
which player do you think is going the most likely to say that they're hanging up their sticks, but that we'll see them at the next event?
It's got to be a couple of OGs, right? I mean, I've already seen Sick Image as well as Monster say, this is their time, but then they're still looking to play. I see them still looking to scrim and stuff. So I don't know. I just, like me, I know those guys have love for the game, and I'm sure they're going to show up at another tournament. So.
Man, this one's easy. Kraz, man, that kid, the night of, is tweeting out that he's gonna quit. He's not sure what his future holds for Gears of War. I mean, he's got the bug. I mean, how do you go to your first 2 events? Second and third event, but in place 3rd place, and then what do you get? 7th, 8th Revenge, or they get top 6?
Revenge got top 6.
They got top 6, and then top 6. and retire after that? Like, we would have prayed for something like that back in the day, the three of us, especially with how much money was on the line.
And he
Did he
played
come
good
back?
too.
He's back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's back.
Okay.
I think he is.
What is it? Who do I want to say? I say Atmo. Atmo was one where it's like, oh, I ain't playing no more.
Always does.
Get this game, and next thing you know, like I look at the rosters, he's on Get Bronco, like, what's up? All right, I see you back here.
Yep.
This next one was a good addition from John here. We've got greatest Cinderella story.
Extortions. DeFazio is Cinderella herself, okay, with red hair. And just like I said, because the only reason why I can say that because I've met the kid at his first event in Montreal and got to see him there, and I would never have expected him from go to there to here. He was just a kid at his first event. Like, yeah, this is awesome. Then he came out here and he just punching everybody in the fucking mouth, and it's like, wow, okay, the kid has some juice in his tank. All right, so that's my Cinderella story.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Extortion's a good choice, and I think they made the most noise of all the Cinderella teams. These other two that I'm gonna say didn't make a lot of noise, but I'm gonna go Geeks and Give No Respect. And people are like, who? And exactly, like honestly, Flamesy. Who else is on that? Honestly, I'm Sneaky, Sensors. I don't think many people would expect.
Yeah.
Sensors kind of was on the radar because of Atmo. Atmo's been scrimming with them. It's a homie right there. But I don't think many people would have expected them to make it out of open, to do what they did over teams like Energy, The Incredibles. I mean, so many standout squads in that open bracket. So I got to say those guys, huge Cinderella story. Their first event, all young kids looking to compete, looking to go pro.
I'm going to go with Geeks. Those guys took an early loss, actually, in the open winners. We ended up playing them for top 16. And after, having no contest on land, they really played well. So they took a losers bracket run after losing to Orbit in winners round 2. And in losers, they beat Riot Boys, Sigma Gaming, Fly Society, NRG, and made it into top 20 where we played them for top 16. And they put up a really good fight. So yeah, great showing from Geeks. It was a lot of fun playing them.
Thanks everyone for watching this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't miss next episode where we're talking about the next upcoming tournament headed to us this weekend, the Gfinity London Open.